Hi, welcome to the another episode, a new week of the Chips Review Show. This week we're doing episode 302, which is Roller Disco, and I'm Skip Beagle.
I'm Boom Boom Gazat.
And I'm Flying.
And we're leading off with the best line by Punch. Mine is at the very beginning of the episode. He sees Ed McMahon and he says, "Hey, aren't you?" And it's like ... And Ed McMahon pulls in with a big smile.
I think that was a pretty good line by Punch. I didn't really put one down myself, but that one works.
What I got here, best line by Punch is, it may cost you to hire assistants, but it's cheaper than losing a friend.
That was good.
Yeah, so he was talking to our good friend Jimmy Tyler, who was one of the stars of the show.
Very famous.
Best extra, what do I have here? Well, I had the guy with the neck brace, because he was the entire episode driving and looking over his shoulder, and I just thought it was really funny to see a guy wearing a neck brace, first off, and secondly, to see one moving his neck so freely. And that's pretty much my favorite. Next we'll look at the best car that was wrecked, and the best one, I wasn't even sure the make, I thought it was some kind of a Plymouth, but the car with the plate that lowers and causes sparks caused this Plymouth to wreck, and I thought that was really funny because the sparks really weren't that big to begin with.
I had the Rolls Royce was the best wreck, probably because it's the most expensive car, and it's funny to watch that be wrecked. What about you, Boo?
I like all the car wrecks. Because that's what Chips is all about. So.
Yes.
All right, and next we're going to do best chase music. And a lot of times they use their same chase music, and it's just like this jolly upbeat music, and I really like it, and they played that again.
My favorite chase music was the high-speed chase of the cycle versus the skater, and I really enjoyed that one. The music was great, it had really good guitar solos, but also the chase, somebody on a big 400cc cycle versus somebody wearing roller skates was really enjoyable to watch.
I'm going to skip to the next category because I had that as well for the best, my favorite. My favorite off-duty moment was the disco contest. The fact that it's a bunch of police having a disco contest was pretty fun.
My favorite off-duty moment was when John and Leif Garrett, who was
Jimmy Tyler
in the show, they had like a lovers quarrel in the kitchen, and it was really funny.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite moment as well, just Baker coming out of his bedroom wearing a robe, while this teen idol was sitting on his couch also wearing a robe. It was kind of strange. And why did this guy was in a car crash, why did Baker take him to his house?
Nobody knows.
For recovery, I don't know.
Just showed up.
Favorite on-duty or off-duty moment?
On duty.
Or on-duty moment, okay, that's what we're at here. Well, for me was when Ponch chased the guy on skates, and he had to use the rope to try and get across the river. And he crashed into the river, because he made it barely 5 feet into this gigantic river, and he had to try to swim away while wearing roller skates. That was my favorite on-duty moment.
Yeah, that was a really good on-duty moment. And then when they capture the guy and they don't let him talk,
Oh, yeah.
he doesn't talk the whole episode, and nobody really knows why.
My favorite was when that lady tried to do the bank robbery, and she had skates, or her shoes turned into skates.
Oh, yeah.
And Ponch and John got the call and went after her. That was good.
Okay, so now we're going to do best deep thoughts by Baker. He said, "Bad guys win some of the battles, but the good guys do their homework. They win most of the wars." Said it to a little kid.
Yeah, he was really into good guys this episode, because I have good guys don't win every round.
Same for me.
Yeah, same for me. I'm going to skip to the scene with the tightest pants. That would be a traditional Ponch skating. Well, Ponch doing just about anything is going to be tight pants, but in this case especially, it's Ponch skating.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like anytime that anybody was skating, like at the end, they all had really tight pants on.
And for me, unfortunately, I can't give this to Ponch. I think Jimmy Tyler had the tightest pants, especially when he was living in Baker's apartment. He had really tight white pants on.
Oh,
And
yeah.
at the end, when he was holding the concert at the skating rink, he had like some kind of painted on black.
They were leather.
Yeah,
Those leather.
spandex. Yeah, some kind of very tight pants. I didn't find any authentic Spanish in this one, did you guys?
No.
And the most ridiculous line, I had a blank on that one. You guys have any?
Busted by a meter maid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, busted by a meter maid, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Favorite character name was Balfour for me, which was Jimmy Tyler's manager. They kept referring to him as Balfour. I thought that was great.
I didn't really have one for that.
Jimmy Tyler is my favorite character name, because I've never heard of him. Apparently he's really famous. And that brings us to best stock footage scene. Take your pick. There's a plethora of them, and I couldn't really narrow down one that was my favorite.
Yeah, exactly. There's always a lot of stock footage, so they're.
Yeah, any chase scene that takes place at 5 miles an hour is a favorite in my book. Scene that should have been left out, all of Jimmy Tyler's concert at the rink was horrible. The song was terrible, and it went on for about 15 minutes. I guess they just ran out of material.
I kind of liked the song.
I had the robbing of the roller skating. Apparently all the robberies took place in the roller skating instead of running. But yeah, that was my favorite.
Okay, so that brings us to scenes that best represented the year that the episode was filmed. I'm gonna go with the roller disco beauty pageant because I've never even seen one of those, but I definitely imagine it being for that time period.
Yeah, I agree. All of the outfits at the roller disco beauty pageant were amazing.
I think the fact that Garrett was even in this episode kind of demonstrated what year this was filmed. And yeah, Jimmy Tyler definitely made the episode. That brings us to the best villain. I had the Sparks guy, the guy with the neck brace. I'm not sure of his name, but I just refer to him as the Sparks. Franco. And he was funny.
I had the lady with the wheelies. She was wearing, or heelies, whatever they call them. She had platform shoes that she pushed a button and roller wheels came out and she robbed jewelry stores.
My favorite was the mute skater. There was a period of this episode for about 10 minutes at least where nobody said any words because they were chasing this guy who apparently didn't know how to talk. And he was arrested and chased and never said a word. He even read the newspaper, so that's probably my favorite villain. I'm not sure what his name was. Ponch demonstrated he's an expert at. I had entertainment chairman of Skating with the Stars. So
I put that Ponch demonstrated he was an expert at women or girls because he really is an expert in that area.
Yeah, I put disco dancing and being a role model. Those are the two things that he really excels at. And that brings us to favorite Grossi moment. Mine was DJ Grossi. That was my favorite.
I also put DJ Grossi.
Yeah, I had DJ Grossi as well, just because he had absolutely no emotion in his voice. Come on, everybody, skate with the stars. Dana Plato, Todd Bridges. And I had one more comment. I had a few more comments on this, but one of them that was really kind of strange to me. There's a guy at one scene, he was standing on a ladder painting, and the roller skating thieves crashed into the ladder, and the ladder fell on its side, and he was hanging from the roof. And then he let go, and he fell in between the ladder. Does that count as walking underneath it? Is that much of that guy? Or is the fact that he...
I think that counts.
That sounds... yeah.
Very perceptive.
Yeah.
The other thing that I had to add too was there was a bunch of creepy random guys at the roller disco pageant, just kind of drooling off to the side, staring at all the
Yeah, that was really creepy.
I don't know. That's what I had to add. You guys have anything else to add?
That's about it for me.
I had a creepiest moment too. There's a scene kind of in the beginning where Ponch and John and these two girls and a little kid are on a merry-go-round, and it's really for no apparent reason at all. And it's just really creepy. It's filmed all like you're kind of on drugs, like in Fear and Living, and it doesn't fit with the rest of the show.
Yeah, one more thing to add to that. What happened to that little kid? It was Ponch and John and two chicks and a little kid. And as soon as Ponch and John started making their moves, the kid just took off.
Yeah, he just disappeared.
We don't even know who he belonged to.
Didn't belong to anyone. I
He
don't
just
think.
disappeared from the episode. Like he just noticed it. I
Yeah.
think he was just a kid walking by.
Okay, that's all I had.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
good.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
Adios.
Which flag?